Hey, welcome back to Tripura Farm. This is Ace, and this is the intro for episode 6, chapter 6. Let's call it chapter 6. I switched that around a bit. So, anyways, yeah, we're ready to start sort of doing, I think, the next phase. Let's take you on a little tour of how the farm is starting to look right now, and I think it's shaping up really nicely. So. We're here, we're out of breath, of course, because I'm always out of breath, aren't I? We can see that the shop is coming together really well. It's in what I think is probably its almost final form. I need to start bringing in some flooring, change out the floor, and there's going to be one more freight container, I think, coming in over here with a door somewhere around right there, just as a catch-all for all the random stuff that comes in. These containers all have specific uses. This one is for all of our crafting ingredients. This is stone and iron and aggregates like gravel, sand, whatever things would go in here. And then finished materials, aluminum and steel, are in this one. And then we've got two more containers over here, which are for automotive parts and support for that as a sort of a backup to this. We've got sort of a deep storage going on here in these, but I'm going to change that around a little bit. Out here in our crafting area, when you come and you stand in this spot right here, you have access to, oops, let me open this up. There we go. You have access to all of these crates and this container all in one spot. So standing here, we have a box, we have a crate full of all the tools, one of each of the tools at least. We've got various things going to go in these crates, and then we've got more crates available. So the idea is, standing right here, you can craft an axe or a spear or whatever you want from the crafting menu. And because all of those things are within reach, just standing in this one spot, you can make it work. We also have a table right here because some stuff needs a surface to work on. And I was able to put one crate on top of it. I wasn't able to put two, but it still counts as a surface. So we have a surface, and we have 3, 6, 9, 10 crates, and we have 1,300 storage with the perk, the organized perk. We have 1,300 storage in this container. So all told, we have somewhere around, I don't know, 1,800 encumbrance storage within range of us right here, which makes crafting a one-stop deal. You just come stand in this spot, you craft whatever you need, and it's all good. So that's working out really well. It's easy to back a truck up to, say, right here and unload into one of these crates and then unload into this. And that way we don't actually have to carry things back and forth. We can just move it across between containers, which makes unloading very easy. And then same for these heavy objects, aluminum, iron, steel. We can back a trailer up to right here and just offload directly into the container without having to carry stuff. So this is working out well. I like the space. Now we just need to finish the floor. And of course, I still need to finish the kitchen, bringing the kitchen out here and sort of making this into that space. I still haven't done that. It's still the plan, but long list. So the garden area, you can see, has changed pretty substantially. I need to figure out how I can create these paths so I can fix the paths and so on. If not, I'll just drop into debug and paint those spaces manually so that it looks better. But for right now, it's good. It's all been furrowed and it's been composted. It's been fertilized with compost. So the rains, as soon as they show up, will mean that I can go ahead and plant. I'm going to wait for that so that I don't have to water things water them as little as possible anyways. But we're ready to go. We've got the seeds in the container, and we don't have any carrots, but we do have onions, which are good to be planted in March. There's other stuff that is okay to be planted in March, but right now, I mean, it's still 25.7 degrees outside. I think that waiting a little bit is going to be probably the way to go, at least for the first rains. A little bit more landscaping has taken place, obviously, with this area getting cleaned up now and used. Building a fence across here, except we ran out of welding rods, of all things. So we're definitely going out looking for welding rods along the way here in the warehouses and whatnot. But in the meantime, let's walk over here to the animal pens, and you can see that they're really starting to come together. The cows have been moved into their own pen. The chicken has its own pen, and then the rabbits, all the female rabbits, are down here in this pen. All that's left here will be some baby males, and I'm not really sure what happens when the babies can't find their mom. It says, hey, can't find its mother, and I don't know if there's a game effect to that or if it's just a you should feel bad, you terrible rabbit father, whatever. Anyways, this pen right here has yet to be completed, but I'm going to go ahead and finish that at some point, bring the fence across like there, and then this will be where the pigs all get moved to. And we have no male pigs at this point, so it's going to be a dwindling population as we butcher, but that's not going to happen for a while because we still have freezers and freezers full of meat. That will leave here in the pen only the rabbit babies, which are all males, and the sheep. And you know what? I'm going to give him a name. I proposed in the description that we call him Dodge, and I still think that's a great name. So for now, he's going to be known as Dodge, because that's exactly what you want to do to him. Here he is, and let's pull up his information. Boom, let's call him Dodge. And the reason we do that is because he apparently likes to hit you. And I don't know if that has to do with his males will attack other males of the same species. Yeah, okay. So I don't know if he does this because he was not calm when we captured him, and if he's calm now, everything's cool. But when we were first grabbing him, he hit us a couple times and caused wounds both times. The second wound required suturing. So watch the ram when you're around them, at least in the beginning, and don't get hurt. Here's our ewe, and she is not pregnant yet. We're hoping for that eventually, so we can get some milk. Meantime, we can hear her. I don't know how often yet. I'm going to find that out. So here's where the pen is. Once we move the pigs out, we'll just have the rabbits and the ram, or the sheep, and then we'll go ahead and move them into their own pen pretty quickly. And yeah, looking good here. We still have much love to give this section of the property. Obviously, I've been neglecting it still. But we did, with the conclusion of the shop, now have a parking area, temporary. This, parking on the lawn. It's kind of hillbilly, but there it is. So, brought those cars out, which means that now the shop is got our 4 first choice cars in it at any given time. Done some maintenance now on the tow truck and the Humvee, brought them here into the little working auto shop area that we have with tools and the storage containers for materials available right there. And now what's going to happen soon is we're going to go ahead and take the Oshkosh and we're going to head up to the military checkpoint on the way into Louisville. So in my B41 game, when I was playing this, the military checkpoint was really just sort of a loot pinata. You showed up and there were some Zeds walking around in there. I'm going to say in the entire checkpoint, there were probably 20 or 30. So it was no big deal. But when I went to that checkpoint here in the B42 game, I would say that there were 10 times as many. There were 200 to 300 walking around in that zone. So I said, okay, gotta go. And we left. And we came back here and we started working on other stuff. And I was hoping that with the cracking of the fence, that those Zeds would naturally sort of disperse as migration happened. So we would come back and there'd be greater, more empty space, more white space, if you will. But that didn't really seem to be the case. The last time I went up, the population still looked really healthy. So, so to speak. So we're going to go back. And I'm going to go into the first section at the south end, the first exclusion fenced off area, which doesn't really have a gate into it. It's just the barricades. And we're going to drive up in there. And I'm going to park. And then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to clear that fenced section out so that we have a nice big open area behind us for retreat. And then I'm going to go ahead and go up and start actually pulling Zeds out of the middle checkpoint zone, the fenced off area. I'm going to start pulling them out through that double fence that they break. And it's a nice choke point, so I'm going to just start chewing my way through that population and go back in and pull some more out and chew them up and on and on. And the goal here is twofold. One is to start clearing out the checkpoint so that we can eventually move into it, pull out loot. I'd love to find some military backpacks. I'd love to find M16s, but I'm not holding my breath. We will certainly find plenty of ammo, though. So I'm looking forward to that. And of course, then the next step would be to break down the fence into Louisville itself and go ahead and move up into Louisville and start encroaching on the city. I installed a mod called Uncle Dave Was a Prepper. And what that does is it gives you a safe house somewhere on the map, which you have a key for, and a map that shows you where it is. And in this safe house are, well, there's a number of options that can be there. I think I just left it in the default, which I think is going to mean a seed library, a library. Now that would be huge because we've got some books missing, and so if there were a complete pile of books there, that would be just enormous for us. But the safe house, unfortunately, is in Louisville. And I thought, well, to the west side of Louisville, and I thought, well, by the time you get into Louisville and you can like safely operate in the west end of Louisville, you even need a safe house? I mean, at that point, you're pretty much set because you're not going to get there without a little bit of gear and some skills. And so originally I sort of discounted it. I was like, all right, well, I'm not even going to worry about the safe house because obviously we're going to be geared up by the time we get there, so I'm not even going to care. But then just last night I was thinking about that safe house again, and I thought, well, wait a minute, so it might actually have a full library. And so now I'm interested again. And where it is in the pawn shop in the northwest corner of Louisville, close to the oil refinery. And when we can get there, great. We've got a key for it, and in theory, there's going to be some interesting stuff in there, but I don't really know because I haven't seen one yet. So I'm eager to see that and see what it has to offer. So we're going to eat a little something here, and then I'm going to get out on the road and head on up to the checkpoint. It's 21:30, so going to catch some rack time, get up early in the morning, and be on the road. And that will be episode 6.1. I hope you guys, hope somebody's enjoying this. I hope somebody's watching it and saying, hey, this looks fun. Trying it out. I'm exploring a few different mods along the way, and I'd love to answer questions. If you guys have one, just hit me up in the comments and I'll answer. Anyways, this is Ace, and I'll see you in chapter 6. I'm out of here.